Good morning. How's everyone doing? So, another day, another concept to continue to push. Um, hey, Coxix. Good morning. Glad to see you back. How's the comic business? Good morning, Kuro. Great to see you. So today, I feel I want to change some things on the front view, which annoys me. There's a lot of weird shapes going on around the collarbones and the um, where the shoulder connects. It's annoys me. It's a bit too basic and too many lines going on the chest, like horizontally and then vertically. Just I want to go in today and play with that design a little bit, and start defining some things more precisely. Um, and when I've done that, I'll start a back view, I think. So my goal is to, at 15-minute mark, um, start on the back view. So ideally, 15 minutes to fiddle around with details, and then start back view. Hopefully at that time it'll be better. Hey, good morning, York. Good morning, Morphia. Hey, Zillion. How's it going? All right, so let's start the timer. Let's start the timer. Where are you? There you are. All right, timer started. That's awesome, Gaxix. That's really good news. Nothing like free music. Well, it's not free because you're gonna work for it, but that's great. How do you Gaxix, how do you sell your comics? Do you have like a publisher, or are you self-published, or how's it how's that working for you? And I'm thinking about having people joining me for talking. I looked at an old episode, and I think it was Novio that joined me one morning. I think it'll be a cool idea. Um, I think that's something that I should do more of. I kind of liked it in hindsight. It was pretty cool. Obviously, I had never spoken to Novio before um, in person, but I think it went pretty good anyways. I don't think it was too weird. By the way, on the topic of these warm-ups, one guy at the studio called Alex Heath, he does 3D code sculptures for his warm-ups. Something you guys should check out if you're into that. He does a lot of good stuff in the warm-ups. And Orby also, he posts daily as well. Our lovely Orby here in the chat. Now you see, the chest is a single piece. I mean, the chest obviously doesn't move that much, but I need like a seam in there so that it, if needed, it can move. I think that's important. That's pretty cool, Gox6. That's really good. Let's undo that. I didn't like that second one. Let's add that. Some patterning. Let's add that as well. You can hear my son in the background. He's making some machine, I think. Alright, so we got that shape there. Shift that shape up. Where are we? We are just 4 minutes in. Okay, that's good. Still lots of time to fiddle around with the design. I didn't want a clean cut there on the peck. I wanted some more interesting shapes there, so it feels more mobile, like that it can move. Because otherwise, it's so easy to stiffen up. And this assassin, I really want to feel like it can contort. Alex Heath is his name. I think he posts his 3D coat sculpts, like monsters, etc., on Facebook. I don't think he puts them anywhere else. I think that'll work. I think design-wise. Maybe suggest that, yeah, something like that. That's great, Gaxis. Kuru, cheers, man. It's all just down to practice and trying to make sense of what you've already established. That's why I'd love to go back in and start defining, because I felt it was a little bit undefined. And I do love making sense of shapes. So, okay, 23, 7 more minutes. God damn it. Time just whoop, disappears. Okay. That kind of looks cool. I like that rhythm that created. Okay, like that. There's some. I'm not sure about the line going across. It feels like it's just added, but hopefully when mirrored, it'll make a little bit more sense, just for kind of uniformity in how we perceive things. Hey Milan, hey Orbi. Orbi does, for his 30-minute warm-up at work, he does lots of digital ink sketches. He wants to get better at composition, etc. So he's practicing that aspect of his mind, which is cool to see. Like every morning to see his composition and light setup. I guess that's what he's practicing on. It's great to see. Orbi's actual name on Facebook, I think, is Quentin something. Yeah, exactly. I mean, I don't switch brushes a lot, and the process is very repeated. And and it was like a what part of my talk uh, this year at IFCC was about practicing to an extent so that your your process become implicit. It becomes automated so that you don't need to think about it. So in situations where I do need to think about, where is the light coming from, um, it should all be automatic. It should all be practiced to the extent where I don't need to do that. Okay, I think these changes are for the better. I definitely like the changes now more than, or the design now more than when I started. It's starting to, these little details are starting to come together now a little bit better. I obviously would love to spend some proper time rather than just 30 minutes here and there to design something that requires a little bit more finesse. But um, I think now, like, starting to get the feel of the character, the technology of the character, even though I'd love for the character to be a little bit more, that I would have had more time to play with this character, design-wise. I'd love to, like, I think what I'd love to do is give it a little bit more angles, make it feel a little bit more geometrical. I think that's something maybe missing from the warm-up sketch that I did, that maybe is implicit or implied, um, like an angular technology rather than round. I think angular could look a little bit more menacing rather than a round. And I think making the decision that the head is larger to show a more brain, I'm not sure about it. I mean, one thing it does, it suggests a larger brain, right? So it thinks more. It's just not a cold, calculated assassin. Um, I'm thinking if it's good or not. And I think also it might be too late to change. On a completely different note, Oats Studios, with Neil Blomkamp. I think it's Neil Blomkamp's like experimental movie studio. GAC6, yeah, Croatia every year. GAC6 is a workshop. Anyone can go. And this, for the next year, they also opened for guest lecturers. So if you have anything you want to have submit as a lecture, there is a link now at IFCC where you can submit your talk, and there's a panel that will um, look at your submission and see if it's a good addition to the lineup. But it's free to join as an attendee. Of course, you buy a ticket and you go. Lecturers, they are invited lecturers, and now there will be lecturers that submit their idea to the workshop, and the workshop decides who gets in. Okay, 2 minutes left. Major shape changes. Do I like the changes on that side? Yes, I do. Here you go, internet. Gaxix, yeah, the short movie. I mean, there's a lot of different lecturers at Gaxix. This year, what's his name? Black Frog. This French comic artist guy. He held a lecture about uh, making up stories and techniques to use. It's cool. He's a good talker. Okay, I think the changes definitely for the better. The concept now is gravitating towards way more hard sci-fi, and in the sketch she was very smooth and like very incognito. You know, it doesn't say that much. So one of my concerns now is that am I taking her away from the general idea of this smoothness of the character? Have I taken it too far? I think I might have, but I also like the look of it. I like the messiness of the character. So as the concept, the original warm-up concept was just, you know, to get the idea, maybe it's time for me to let the original posed drawing go and don't lean too much on it, so that so that I'm not limited by it, right? Because I do want to create something cool, and the original sketch for the warm-up was cool, but it's just that, you know, something that sparks the idea, and the idea of having an of a odd multi-angled spider assassin thing trumps the original sketch. So I think what I'll do now is just not like wanting it to be that smooth and innocent looking, but a little bit more alien tech looking. Yeah, Igor. All right, so back view. Hey, Captain Bowles. What do you think about the fact that I'm not leaning so much on the original posed one, right? It's this one is now transferring into, it's now becoming its own entity. What do you think about that? Is it a good move or a bad move? Should I start leaning back on the original sketch? You guys can be the art directors here in this instance. Should I lean on back on the original sketch to make it that smooth, weird looking, or is this new kind of angular alien tech looking thing a better direction? You can play art director. So what I'm doing now is setting up the back view. I had this idea of it having a central spine, I don't want to make a mantis assassin. I think that is done. I'd rather like try to come up with something new, right? Because we've all seen the mantis like assassin with a hooked arms. So let's make some technology bullshit. Some shapes. Not zoom in too much because it needs to, at this point it just needs to be implied. Because we're gonna probably go in and define it more next time. Actually, could copy the whole thing. Hey, Baba220. All right, Kuro and Bjork. Yeah, tech bullshit is the best kind. Right, so let's just broad stroke change the back view until we see something cool. We know that the collarbone there has to go because it's a big statement shape. Let's copy some piece from the front. And maybe warp it a little bit. Let's tone it down a little bit so it doesn't poke out that much. All right. How about we have an exposed spine so that actually the spine of the assassin is completely open in technology, you know, so that it's the Achilles heel of the assassin, right? So that it only, it's, you know, that's the way to kill it. That's the way to win over the assassin. That it has just an exposed back. I think that would be a cool little thing, right? That it's just fully front assault. That would be a nice little feature. I think those are the kind of things that make a design interesting, that it has an implied meaning, you know, like an exposed shoulder on a character. Like, why is it exposed? Why is there a need to show it? You know, or and as a viewer, you constantly start thinking about it subconsciously, even though, you know, you don't actively think, I wonder why they made that decision. But the fact that you did as a designer has, you know, like it has effect on the observer. Yeah, so you guys are totally shitting on my idea of an exposed spine. All right, let's say that it needs, because it's high energy, it needs exhausts, it needs movement. Maybe there's moving parts in the back that, if they have a metal covering, it'll have a bulbous back, and they don't need it. They need to be able for it to twist and move. Maybe even it can fold inwards. So with plating on the spine, it wouldn't make sense. Maybe it also has needs intake for air more than just small ports like a motorcycle. Hey Atananuk, welcome back. Georg, yeah, definitely. Horizon Zero Dawn did a really good job with designing the robots. They hired this freelancer, I think. I don't know if he was a freelancer then, but the name eludes me. Horrible. I should have given him props for it, but yeah, the name is not there at the moment. Okay, I see problems, and the problems is the center line. I've been drawing past the center line, so I need to move that in so we get a good center line. And then we have the scapula. Maybe. Coccyx. Some reactor. Yeah, it could be cool. Could not like not reactor per se, but definitely an energy fingerprint maybe. Okay, let's flip it and see what it looks like flipped, and then start taking it from there. There, approximately. Okay, flip works. It works okay. I don't like that this piece is exactly where the collarbone is. So what we got to do is move it down, maybe connect it in there, change up this area so it is not a mirror. I absolutely hate mirror designs front and back. It doesn't look good, and things need to change. Yeah, nuclear reactor. That's a good one. Let's make a focal point back into the spine by having bigger shapes of back plating. Yeah, that's pretty cool. Then we also need to show the back piece, that piece going. I think that will be cool with just like a handle, you know, like the American soldiers, they have a handle in their bulletproof vest or their armor, so that you can drag them, which is a cool little feature that I will steal. So if the assassin is broken, they can just go and grab him by the collar in the back and drag him. I think it was a lucky little accident, this node in the neck there. I think this mechanical bullshit. It worked quite well. How many minutes do we have left? 3. Okay, but that's, I think the spine is starting, the spine idea works. The spine idea definitely works. Let's copy that and place it one more time. And then let's place it there. No, let's place it there. Doot, doot. That's a cool rhythm. 1, 2, 3. Yes. There's a saying in Swedish that won't translate, so I won't say it. Oh, it's there in Finnish as well. Oh, that's pretty cool. I love that little design feature. It's a little bit morbid, the fact that it's a feature added if and when the soldier fails. Like a lot of other features that's constantly applied to military technology is not to fail, right? Higher velocity rifles, better sights, all these things, but but it's implied like, oh, you don't need any more if you fail the technology. So we just install this handle for you in the back. It's a very interesting thing it implies, you know. Oh, don't worry, you don't need better protection, you don't need a face visor, you don't need anything, it's just you won't fail. But if in case you do, we got this corpse handle for to deal with whatever's left. It's a little bit dark. What if soldiers were designed to fail? Their gear is completely geared towards you will fail, but we have technology for when you do, in order to what? Suicide? Automatic retrieval. Everyone has their own spider drone that just carries the body back to base. So many possibilities. My mind goes crazy. Right. Center. What? There we go. Yeah, I think the changes are cool. I think the exposed spine is pretty nifty. Nifty. That's a good word. That's a cool word to use, right? Oh, really, Kuru? That's pretty cool. That's interesting. All right, time's up. So what I did this time was change up the design a bit on the torso. I think for the better. Looks a little bit more military and hardcore now. And a spine back view started. Still not haven't flipped the arms and legs, etc., etc. But I think the spine aspect works. Looking at the side view now, the pose is a bit awkward. It feels a little bit like vulture-like. But I think in general we're onto a cool idea. I think animated would be very nice. So next time, tomorrow, I'd love to flesh out some, just keep pushing the design a bit more. Show where how this, maybe do cutouts with how the arms are inlaid into the other arms, and so on. I think those things are needed to explain the design. But yeah, thanks everyone for coming. Have a good day, good evening, and see you on Discord. And yes, Captain Jetlag, you are exactly on time. Have a fantastic one, everyone, and see you tomorrow. Bye. Bye. Look at this hair. This is